Hello everyone, welcome to the channel, and today I want to talk to you guys about my favorite cryptid of all time, the knot deer. In the world of cryptids, the knot deer are relatively new, only really being created in around 2018, and mostly being spread through short-form social media like TikTok or Instagram. Their origins are associated with either Native American folklore or Appalachian legends, but there's little basis for that in either of those. They're more so just a creation of the internet than anything. They do, however, have several characteristics popular in legends of both folklores, which is why they fit in really nicely. Today I'll go into some details about the knot deer, its origins, why I like it so much, and some theories as to what the sightings of it might really be. They're commonly described as looking like deer at first glance, but the longer you look at them, the more you notice things that are a little off. Most commonly, that is forward-facing eyes, which implies that they are predators. But it can also be extremely long legs that bend in the wrong places or the wrong direction. A large, misshapen chest described as looking like a barrel. Crazy overgrown antlers or really short bulbous antlers, or just being really large. They also frequently stand on their hind legs. They also have very different behavior from regular deer. They have no fear of humans, most notably, but are also significantly more aggressive, tend to have strange behaviors that don't really make sense, like walking in circles or hitting their heads up against rocks or trees. And they're also significantly more aggressive towards animals and people. I'm sure most of you have seen a deer at least once, either on the side of a highway or while you're out hiking, and you usually never get a good look at them. You either drive past them quickly or they run away when they see you've seen them. And this kind of makes you think, because what if you did get a good look at those deer that you saw? Would you have noticed anything off? And now that you think of it, why was that deer so close to the highway? Or why was that deer so close to the hiker? That's exactly where the fear of these things lies. You could have seen one before and never noticed what was off about them because you didn't look hard enough. But supposedly meeting one of these things is a whole different story. Imagine you're out hiking. You've gotten far away from any highway, and it's been hours since you've seen or even heard from another soul. The forest is quiet. So quiet you can even hear the snap of a twig a few dozen feet behind you. You quickly turn around to see what the disturbance was, and immediately feel relief wash over you. It's just a deer. But then you look a little longer. Its legs are long, bending the wrong ways in the wrong places. It looks at you, directly at you, and its antlers are horribly misshapen, large and asymmetrical, covered in globs of solid velvet. As you make eye contact, you feel that relief drain from you and turn to fear. The uncanny valley, the fear of something that looks almost familiar but isn't. Familiar enough that a quick glance might have you mistake it for the real thing, but it isn't. That fear, when you realize what you're looking at isn't what it presents itself as, is a betrayal. It's a betrayal from your own mind. Your brain interprets a lot of the information it has to make it easier for you to comprehend, smoothing over gaps and filling in lost details with what your brain assumes you're seeing. And in this case, it assumed wrong. Your brain failed to spot what was in front of you and assumed it was something innocent. It's also a betrayal from the thing. You trust everything around you to be what it presents itself as, but in this case, something is deliberately presenting itself as something it's not, and you don't know why. That unknown is also a huge part of the fear. The concept of mimicry is so interesting. Growing up, I saw my fair share of media where a shapeshifter will look like a protagonist's friends or family to try to deceive them, which kind of desensitized me to it. But the more you think about it, the more it's a breach of trust. There's a level of trust that's broken by a mimic, and I think that extends to deer as well. Deer are pretty safe animals to be around. They're very scared of people, they aren't very physically threatening, and they would only really ever be violent if you got near their kids. The knot deer is a lot more dangerous to be around than a regular deer, but it looks like a regular deer, possibly on purpose. That fear of something's unknown intent is exactly why I love it so much and why it's my favorite cryptid. You don't know what its motivations are, why it's doing what it's doing. It feels like it fits the bill of a forest monster perfectly. Now for the history of the knot deer. In around 2018, there were a lot of sightings of deer acting strangely, looking weird, and they gained a lot of traction on Instagram and TikTok. That's where the term knot deer was created to describe them. They were tied into Appalachian folklore and also Native American legends, but nothing like that explicitly exists in either of those two lores. Similar things exist in both lores, like the Skinwalker, or at least its more modern interpretation being more of just a shape-shifting creature in the woods. In research for this video, I found a lot of posts on like Reddit and stuff where people, probably coming from these TikToks, are coming asking people about the knot deer, like real Appalachians about the knot deer, and they're frequently met with the real Appalachians having no idea what they're talking about and never having heard of the knot deer before. So it's very much a new cryptid that's been recently created, and created by short form content. There's very much a new wave of cryptids being brought on by Instagram and TikTok, and the short horror content that's made out of these things. Also a lot of sightings of or just weird things that people will see and post on TikTok. You'll see in the comments if there's like a weird animal that probably someone would say, that's a skinwalker. Or if that's a deer, someone would say that's a knot deer. Out of all the cryptids out there, the knot deer feel very plausible. It's not some ridiculous forest monster. They look like something that you know is out there, and it feels more realistic that people just missed these and never looked too deep into the regular deer. It's that simplicity that makes them easier to imagine and speculate about. There's a large sect online who speculate that the knot deer are actually a species of wolves that have evolved to look so similarly to deer just to be able to get closer to them, and I think that's so cool. A really interesting bit of speculative biology from those guys. It's not my favorite theory, but I still love it. And that piece of speculative biology is why I'm so happy that there's been a new wave of interest in cryptids. It's bringing a whole bunch of more creativity to the space and breathing new life into it. And now we should get into some deeper theories as to what the knot deer could actually be. There are a lot of sightings out there of deer who look and act really strange. And ever since the term knot deer showed up, more have been coming. So there has to be something making all these deer look and act so strange. First up is the most plausible theory, and what I believe is responsible for most of the knot deer sightings. And that is chronic wasting disease. Chronic wasting disease is a prion disease that affects deer and other similar animals. Prion diseases, for anyone unaware, are diseases caused by a misfolded protein, a prion, that causes other proteins to misfold in the same way, spreading throughout the host's body and eventually to their brain, which can cause a whole host of things to go wrong. It's the same thing as mad cow disease, if you've ever heard of that. It is 100% fatal and can lie dormant in a host for 2 to 3 years while still being transmutable. For that reason, an outbreak of CWD is very dangerous and can quickly wipe out a whole population of deer. When symptoms do show up after a 2 to 3 year gestation period, they are loss of weight. The deer will lose a lot of weight, and they will also have behavioral changes. These changes in behavior can be anything, but are often walking in circles, hitting their head up against trees, other self-harm behavior that can also be attributed to a decaying or harmed look to a lot of these deer, which grants the disease its name zombie deer, because you can see a deer walking around really strangely, hitting its head up against something, or just and that could also look decayed because of all the self-harm behavior. Most importantly, in this case, one of the changes is a loss of fear of humans. Sound familiar? Which is why a lot of these deer could have maybe approached humans, and why I think that a lot of the CWD cases are misattributed to the knot deer. It's also important to know that there was a considerable outbreak of CWD in Appalachia in around 2018, right when these knot deer sightings started showing up. Putting 2 and 2 together, it's pretty easy to assume that most of these are CWD. I can also attribute a lot of these sightings to cactus bucks. When a deer has messed up testosterone, their antlers will grow out of control. Either super big, elaborate, intricate designs, or amorphous lumps of antler and velvet on their heads. It's pretty messed up in some of the more severe cases, and can definitely be attributed to at least a few sightings of these weird deer. Deer are also wild animals, and known to be kind of dumb. They do weird stuff, and people don't really know why. If you ask a hunter, they'd probably tell you deer are strange and unpredictable animals. And that's another reason why I love the not deer so much. It feels so plausible, especially considering how weird deer can be. Especially if you've seen one, they're wild animals. They will do whatever they want. So it's not entirely impossible to assume that people have seen these deer do the things they've done and have been attributed to a not deer. That's about all I have to say about the not deer. My favorite cryptid of all time. I love the cryptid community and the love it's been getting lately. I hope to make more videos soon about other cryptids. I don't know what, but I'll get to those. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. See ya.